about how they're playing at the moment.
All right, well, the maps have been decided. We are ready to get into it.
All right.
Thank you, Alan and Yanko.
Oh.
Let's head on over to our amazing casting duo. It's Scrawny and Launders.
Screw the amazing casters. I'm here for the amazing game. We've got Vitality and Gambit. We've got elimination on the line. It is not where either of these rosters wanted to be at this point in the tournament. The 1x bets just tell you how close this can be. Folks, buckle in, because this one could be something special. Vitality to the CT side of Mirage to kick it off, and Shiro, he will be showing that little bit of contact towards the A site. What a game he had just yesterday versus Copenhagen Flames. His Vertigo performance was popping off, and Hobbit is hopping off down into the B bomb site with Masuda now tested, but a clean headshot as he turns to Axile slows this somewhat. Bomb on the ground. We've got a lurk about to come through apartments. That's going to get caught by Nafany. Beauty of a play there. Patience is key. Apex and dupreeh within that marketplace, waiting for Magis to come join them. Good call out in terms of frag grenades. I mean, you take that. dupreeh's gonna go pushing forward, Apex with him. Looks like Vitality want to go on the offensive, and that's why. Clean headshot with the P2K. Apex now, he's gonna get a chance at Nafany, waiting for his teammates to also come at this, and it's Magisk to turn Inters into the clutch. 1 versus 3, he's done. Apex with 3 kills this pistol, Vitality open first.
Damn, okay, so nice start from Vitality, and that's a spot in the B site where they could have planted the bomb, but they decided they're gonna wait for Vitality to make a mistake, and Vitality didn't overthink it. They said, let's go ahead and get this retake over with before they can even plant, so that's gonna mess up the money for Gambit a little bit. Nice start for Vitality. A lot of questions for Vitality as a whole, and for Gambit, the last we saw of them yesterday, they did amazing on Vertigo versus Copenhagen Flames. The rest of the series was still questionable. They had a few blips, and at this event, they had a series where they lost to time 7 rounds in 2 maps.
Ouch.
Which just shows there was a bit of a calling problem, a cohesion problem. They weren't themselves, but they might be back. And for all those reasons, this series is going to be insane. So we've got Inferno after this, and Overpass as a decider if we get there, with Gambit, of course, picking Mirage in this position, which is going to be wonderful. Now, conversation that extended to Device when he joined NIP, and now to Vitality with dupreeh and Magisk, is how much time have they put into Mirage?
Right.
So that is something where you can see them be uncomfortable in spots, and right now, Vitality are leaning heavily into the tournament that dupreeh has been having.
Crazy that just yesterday I opened up stream, I see ZywOo with 9 kills while dupreeh has 30. 24 hours earlier, dupreeh says, you know, it's hard to keep up with this guy. The fact that his goal is to keep up with the likes of ZywOo, I think really is the testament that, as Yanko is alluding to, this question of like who stands next to the likes of ZywOo, who's the right-hand man? If it's supposed to be Masuda, that's one thing. He's not performing right now. dupreeh is exceeding those expectations.
Yeah, I think Masuda has always kind of been overrated on the old lineup by a lot of people who looked at it, because everyone was looking for the second star, and Vitality did have so much success. You thought, well, who's the second best player? The entire time it was really Apex. I mean, he actually was a big player in their biggest games, and no one really thought, oh, it's going to be the IGL, but honestly, Apex was that guy. Masuda had some standout games, but overall was very inconsistent, and Apex was a lot closer to a top 20 placing than Masuda in 2021.
Okay, that's fair. Well, dupreeh will be looking to climb those ranks this year. See if he can be inspired by the ZywOo. This round opened up with ZywOo pushing with his teammate into the apartments, and they're just going to sit within that. So easy palace control for ZywOo here. He may not even be a part of this round, depending on whether Gambit can get success towards the B site, which they currently lean towards. Shiro's passive, hoping someone comes towards top mid, but looks like Vitality not leaning on aggression too heavy out of the gate. They got palace, that was enough.
Wow, an interesting exchange of utility. The slow crawl here from Gambit as they work towards an A split. Their plans will not be clear to Vitality, who are being quite stingy with their grenades, which is a good sign. Calling out this slow crawl. That might leave Gambit a little bit nervous because they've taken just the right amount of map control conserve just the right amount of grenades. Like, we're crossing 35 seconds, 2 smokes still up, an incendiary on Masuda, and even 4 HEs. That will matter. 8 hits coming on, they lean this way, Masuda opens up.
Nice clean FAMAS frag. There's the push out from the ramp. Gonna start dropping the utility that's here. Magisk goes adventurously towards the top of the staircase. He's got support still towards Connector. That's his second kill, but Inters will clear Apex off this bomb site. ZywOo's activated, and that element of surprise worth its weight in gold. Shiro to the clutch 1v3, and there's just no time for this one. So the decision out of the gate to push ZywOo into Palace comes back to be the difference maker, because there was still the opening from ramp. There was still a kill to be had in Connector. It is ZywOo to close it, and a third for Vitality straight out the gate.
Yeah, it's harder than it looks to not throw your grenades early versus Gambit. That's what's the most difficult part, really, of the round for a lot of teams, but Vitality did an excellent job of doing that, and they were quite patient, quite calm, and of course, that opening kill helps out a lot, so shout out to Masuda for that one. And also, there is this strange but irrational fear that Gambit are holding every single position. That's another thing they're very good at doing. So you never want to push for map control because it feels like their default goes on for rounds on end. But there is always space. There are only 5 Ts, and eventually they do have to make a decision. And that's where Vitality called them out, took that Palace space. We're totally ready for A. So everything couldn't have gone better. Honestly, on paper, even if their results haven't been immaculate, I've felt like Vitality's CT sides have been extraordinary in terms of the variety in their setups, the smokes that they're using. They're doing some interesting stuff. We'll talk about more of that on Inferno.
Yeah, we'll see once Hobbit. Ooh, once Hobbit delivers. 1 Deagle kill and a second. Oh my God, no trade there from ZywOo?
That was a crazy, you got a little lucky on that third bullet, right in the head though.
Yeah, I felt like that one just kind of found its mark, you know? And Hobbit gets away with the M4. Apex is gonna chase this slightly, but Hobbit's making moves here. He's up top. There's Apex to at least bring it back. Now the M4 can be picked up, but look how completely alone Apex is. He's already got 2 players within Con, one of which is that op in Shiro.
Wow, he's got all the way off the CT. They're gonna be focused in on A ramp because that would be a perfectly fine spot to play in. And Axile actually comes back to it.
Clears it.
So maybe this is a round here for Gambit. So much pressure on Apex. He said, don't help me, I've got this.
Taking a lot of this pressure on his own shoulders. Still 0 movement from the 2 other B players. And Gambit getting dangerously close. They've cleared out jungle, they've cleared out ramp, and eventually they're gonna make this contact versus Apex. Don't forget, Axile has picked up that M4, and because of the incendiary on the ground, now suddenly Apex's position gets screwed over. That's such a nice thought. And as Shiro misses a shot towards Cat, it's still going to spell disaster for Vitality. A double deagle play from Hobbit on the ramp. Now, once we get that replay, dude, I gotta see the shot because I'm shocked still that ZywOo didn't get that quick trade.
He was almost pulling down a little bit, and then the bullet went up. He was spamming. It's gonna happen sometimes. He was close enough, you know, it's legit. It's just...
Put a little twist on it.
Yeah, maybe ZywOo takes a little bit too long there, but it's a deagle headshot they don't have to think more about. Nice play from Axile as well. Very industrious. Pick up that incendiary.
Presence of mind.
Yeah, and he's also the one to get the kill with the M4 as well. So that's actually a spot where I believe Apex could have got rid of the gun, but there were so many Ts still left over. They could have been in Connector. They could have been late out Palace.
Check this
so he
out.
didn't feel like he could get away with that.
It lands. But you are dead on, right? Poor Apex, especially knowing that his teammates weren't coming, whether that was his call to just leave him on his own, like, hard to control everything.
That's well played. Apex literally hasn't upgraded his pistol here. P2K, nades, armor. Okay, he's got a gun on the ground.
On the ground. But check out the T side, dude. 3 A1Ss.
Yeah.
That's a quick bounce back.
Absolutely.
Could be a quick bounce back. We'll see if the response is faster from Vitality.
Uh-oh.
ZywOo fumbling nades, loses 60 HP basically.
That's expensive.
And we get Gambit right back to this B lane.
I'm very excited for this game. I think we've watched some games so far where it's been disappointing.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't feel like it's going to be one of those games. Both teams got some reps in here in the Kato group stage, shaking the rust off, the nervousness. Got comfy in a LAN environment. Late crunch on mid. Eyes on Zywoo. He can't do... And they're walking up on Cat as well. The smoke will help him out because now he can focus up on just this higher angle. Oh, chance for him to die there. Doesn't realize how far they've gotten. And
right there.
He can even get peek from Cat. Yeah, okay, he has to flick upwards. They don't think he's still there.
Shiro wins the fight onto the deep A player. That's Magisk removed. Nafany, frontline runner. Masuda under pressure, but at least killing the Apartments player could have helped. Masuda, multi-kill potential. Yes, sir. 3 A's in the name, 3K on the backside, and a bit more damage done to him, but he's calling for dupreeh to come help, and sure enough, there's another answer. 4 frags from Masuda.
Damn, the quadruple A battery.
Crucial round.
Yeah. That's nasty. Well done. Hey, things were really falling apart there. Gambit worked so hard, got up to the A site. I think they dropped they missed their top con smoke. It landed above connector, and they crossed by Zywoo, and I think he saw an opportunity, but was aiming low, thought they might phase the smoke into connector, come up into the A site. A wonderful hold. You know, a super standard but incredibly strong smoke. It can't be denied. If someone's sitting back there, they have the ability to jump up on Van. They can isolate a lot of the fights to the right side and not have to worry about the left at all, and leave it to Masuda. And I think, despite all his inconsistency, the reason that he garners so much attention is, and you said this before, sometimes he just gets 3 Ks, you know, where most people couldn't.
Yep. He is one of those, and you know what, this is one of the things that I think dupreeh also brings to the table. These are 2 pocket players that go really hard with the multi-frags. And obviously, sometimes those players are far and few between.
Yeah, and we also have created a space for Masuda where, oh, window smoke is missed. They created a couple of smokes missed for Gambit.
Yeah, back-to-back rounds.
Sometimes it's on purpose. These two don't feel like it, but... Oh, wow. Apex asked for the flash to try to punish in this position. But Shiro's not blind enough. You know, that top... the palm tree flash, it's just not that strong.
It is janky.
It's something to displace you a little bit, but it doesn't last forever. It's very after image flash.
This opens a huge gap in the defense now. Gambit no longer punished for missing that smoke. If anything, they get a kill off of the back of it. They can go through the murder hole. Jungle is there for the split.
They're getting ready to push Palace, I think, off this pressure so they can hold this. Oh, shot in the leg.
And dupreeh cleans up Hobbit. So Axile is going to be limping into this one. Magisk doubles in from the staircase. He'll take down Axile, leaving Zywoo to stay full focused over towards ramp.
A bad decision. Nafany does have a gap here. I mean, they don't know about 3, but they heard Zywoo. Magisk got a kill, and maybe they do know that this is open. They have to worry about the CT op, but they'll swing back around.
Okay.
And as Yanko brought up, lowest rated player on Gambit right now, and Nafany does make the difference on T side, Mirage in particular. They'll start to run up. Masuda knows he's alone once again.
Smoke grenade to screw over Nafany.
That's a big one.
That'll deal with the thorn in their side as the rotate will come through. Masuda, 20 seconds to just hang on to this bomb site. Inters is going to have to jump down to get him. Nafany.
Oh, they just disrespects the smoke.
Oh, that's so sick. The timing to get away from the player in the jungle and find that kill. Plus, Inters clears corner. Another headshot. Nafany with utter excellence.
Damn, dude. That was the only way that, you know, he could actually make something happen in that round. And even though they threw that smoke, they didn't know for sure that he was there. And that was the key for Nafany. He basically called a bluff and said, you can throw this down and expect me to respect it, but you don't actually have confirmation I've been sitting in jungle. So you might assume that I'll wait the full 15 seconds, but does what he needs to do with the amount of time left on the clock. And with Masuda alone in the B site, there's a chance that 3 Gambit players are walking out halls, and he needs a rotation.
Yep.
And that rotation has to focus on the site itself. And they do such a good job of not simply jumping out of the window. They clear out every angle very carefully.
Yes.
And that's when Masuda's palms start to sweat a little bit. Okay, they're starting to ISO all these angles. My time is limited. A beautiful lurk. And people wonder how these IGLs can constantly find timings through window. You have to think on your feet. You have to be able to find a timing no one's thinking of. And that's a situation that exemplifies it the best. No more money here for Vitality.
Well earned, Hobbit. He rubs his hands together in delight. I would have loved to have seen that from the perspective of the Vitality player who came through jungle after Nafany had just gotten through the smoke. You know, like what was the timing there? How tight? Nafany slipping straight through. Now we'll have to see if Vitality can upset with the MP9, M4, and trio of Deegs. dupreeh playing default. It's Magisk to support him from jungle. Hoping for maybe some kind of a connector / middle play by the looks of it. Vitality, will see what is destined for them, but feels like Masuda's going to be left on his own this time. Boosting 2 players to get around Catwalk. Now that could still, of course, serve as an issue if Gambit decide to attempt this connector split through A. Also opens up Apex to double back and try to support dupreeh. That one footstep, dupreeh, killer instinct to the top of the ladder. A big fight versus Hobbit, but he's drawn right into the fire. And with that, the A site falls immediately. It's all about the mid play and whether these pistols can pick anything up, but by the looks of things, it's an easy 3rd victory for Gambit.
I think we've got a good Vitality, but this is the real Gambit right now, for sure. You know, this is exactly what we expect from them. So really well handled. They put dupreeh in such an uncomfortable position just by existing. Throwing that Molotov down, not peeking, understanding he has to come up the ladder. Of course, he can play under Balk with no utility in a round like this, where if he had full grenades, he probably wouldn't. But they have to take some kind of risk, and Gambit suss that out. It's just a matter of time in their eyes. 5 players alive. And Vitality even have to save with just this Deagle. So we've already got quite a real match early into the first half. This game is going to be an absolute movie if it keeps continuing at this pace.
Axile not letting anybody get away. Axile currently slower start compared to what we've seen from him at times in this event. The highest rated player for Gambit.
Don't worry, Overpass is coming.
It's coming, yeah. And when it does,
so is Axile.
Suddenly Vitality should have their hands full, but it is a 1.28 rating for Axile coming into this one. 6 maps in. Closest player on the server after that would be dupreeh, outperforming the ZywOo for now. But also given a chance to do it here in round number 8. This is Gambit tying things up by the looks of things, unless dupreeh's Scout, Magisk's MP9. The few tools that they will be able to lean on with this one.
This is around 2 days ago that you might think Gambit, if you give them space, they'll run out of time and the round will end because of it. But so far today, they've been moving at the right speed. They're about to turn the corner on Cat. dupreeh's gonna have 2 enemies in front of him.
Ooh, 2 kills.
Oh my God.
3 kills.
Masuda.
Another tag. Gambit. They just walked into a 2-player bomb site.
Flanked by a P2K and scared.
No way. Apex gets cleared off for the back end. Magisk comes through with the MP9 kill and through the wall, dupreeh.
Oh, okay.
Vitality say, do to us what we can do to you. And they turn that one upside down. That's what you're talking about. You said this was a movie, Launders.
Yeah.
That right there, that's Michael Bay, baby.
Yeah, that was explosive. Wow, nice calmness from dupreeh.
Ooh, that's a stunner.
The pace is really good from Gambit. They get into the spot they want to. Cat splits a classic anti-eco strat. They find the 2 players they need, but both those players, they do the most with the least. A Scout and a Deagle for 4 kills.
Whoa. There is going to be an awesome battle between the minds of these 2 teams.
Definitely.
Right? Nafany slipping through the murder hole. That was his shining moment. This overstack to the B site with dupreeh. Mwah, nice stuff. Highly rated coaches in this game as well, so you know that preparation is going to be a key piece, and we cannot underemphasize, or rather overemphasize, the fact that this is elimination. And even the winner is not, you know, I don't know. It's not the trail that either one of them wanted to take to the Spodek. Let's see what comes off at the back of this one. ZywOo feeling invigorated, maybe. Very slow start for ZywOo. 1 and 7 as Nafany taps him down on the catwalk.
This guy was reading a book there for a second, looking at top mid, had no idea that Nafany jumped through the smoke. They did a late flash for him, so ZywOo turned. So it was kind of by design. And now they'll continue to apply pressure. Nice pace, coming out fast into the A ramp. With the Opera down, the anxiety's gone. They know they can scale.
Apex is going to be met by Nafany within this smoke. That's just a barrel to the side of the head. And all of the marbles Vitality took off the back of the last round, lost with this one. Gambit sharp as hell. All it took, taking down the Opper, and you saw the confidence boil over.
I mean, when you know the ops down, like 2 ops, maybe. On B, or 1 more on A, very unlikely. So they said, hey, we love to walk out A ramp. Let's do this even faster now. And again, Nafany tip of the spear. A reason that it all comes together. And someone that needs to be highlighted and criticized accordingly because he is a risk taker in the game, but not someone whose stats, suffer drastically because of it. He can really take over maps alongside his stars.
ZywOo had such confidence standing in the open there.
Yeah, he turned from the flash from top mid and looked back, and that's the moment that Nafany jumped through. So it was a really good tactic from Gambit.
That's 2 highlight moments from Nafany where he's able to just cheese through smoke.
Like 2 rounds, yeah.
Yeah. Round-winning plays, no doubt. I mean, in fact, it was ZywOo who was standing in market that also got one tap by Nafany then, so... He is the cure to ZywOo for the moment. But of course, with players surviving, I mean, this is such a momentum shifting back and forth, but nobody's really ran away with the economy game just yet. This game still kept on an edge as we are in round number 10.
Specific focus of the game plan from Vitality was leaning into Palace when they felt like the rounds would take too long. In this situation, they haven't been overly aggressive about space. They've got a double A ramp set up. Of course, it's very powerful. If a connector play comes in, they can take cover inside of the A ramp. If someone comes towards the A ramp, they have a really great way to trade. It's kind of difficult to flash in there, and almost certainly they know they'll run into an anti-flash position. Versus this Palace play, they open up a nice angle. Let's see if it works for Magisk.
He's got to deliver here now. Keep Gambit at bay. First one's good. Can't manage to spray into Inters as he takes a wider swing, but ZywOo
he goes up the ladder.
No scope to the forehead of Inters. Hobbit swings out from ramp because ZywOo was drawn forward. And Hobbit sensed that moment, but that's a big pickup from dupreeh.
The patience.
It pays off
2-on-2.
drastically, but dupreeh running forward, not going to expect Hobbit to have tucked into the corner. Hobbit sharp as ever.
Wow.
3 kills on the delivery at this A site to tie at 5.
Man, that's weird. The only thing is the decisions there. I feel like Magisk, you can see him getting 2 kills, but it really felt like after the first one, ZywOo is relying on him to stay alive a little bit if they're not going to push forward into the A ramp. And instead what happened is this guy has to do parkour to get up the ladder and no-scope someone in Palace. That's not how that reaction is supposed to play out. They just managed to get 2 kills, and I felt like if Magisk disengaged after his first one, ZywOo can play it kind of however he wants, but instead is forced to make a weird decision, and then makes the most of it, but I'm not surprised Gambit win from that point on.
Sure.
Vitality now, no money.
Yeah, Hobbit really had the red carpet rolled out for him there with nobody watching ramp.
Yeah. Just a series of strong positional moves. The map is a chessboard to Gambit. And they are Kasparov.
So now here's the runway for Gambit. This is a chance to run away with a little bit of a lead on this T side. And I feel as though they sense it. We're getting this early pressure towards the B site, something we haven't necessarily seen. And unlike the last time when dupreeh's over here with his scout, Masuda's deagle, it is free for the taking. Leaning the wrong way in round 11. Just a matter of maximizing the money off the back of it, really. And so far, so good for Hobbit, but dupreeh still finds answers. No matter what he has in his hands, he's putting bullets in their heads. That could be a weapon grabbed as well. Yes, ZywOo finds his paws on it and crawls back through the hole to escape with it. P250, there's a tip.
Nothing feels better than an open site.
Right?
Gambit seeming to pick all the right rounds to release the tension.
I mean, we expected nothing less. This was supposed to be that masterclass. I think comparing this to a game of chess is what we'd hope. You've got big brains in IGLs. You've got great support in both these coaches. I say winner takes Groove's suit.
Winner takes the suit? Yeah, maybe that's why they're playing so well. They're trying to protect it.
Take the jacket off his back.
Also, it's only his only one or his favorite one.
And, you know, since Zonic's not wearing one, then Groove would get rights to Zonic's book.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
There we go. Can make it an NFT.
The buyback up from Vitality. AK kept for ZywOo. So no ops here for the defense. No massive outliers in terms of individual numbers, but of course notable moments. Nafany winning 2 rounds, killing ZywOo twice while he's looking the wrong direction, and Shiro just snipes Magisk down as he attempts to peek over top of the fire on ramp. ZywOo feeling a little flustered there, allows for the cross to top mid, and dupreeh was kind of bunched up on him. It's a good way to get the utility out of Nafany at the very least. But Nafany's also got support from the flashbangs. If he wants to try and cross back with a kill, he eats that from the CT side, but there's no hyper-aggression from Vitality. They wait.
That sucks, because there's one guy in mid right now. They can't even approach him. They tried to flush him out with that incendiary. Yanko also brought this up. Vitality have a terrible 4v5 win percentage right now, right around 15% at the event. And so far, Gambit have converted easily after getting the opening kill.
There's no reason to think that stops. Axile. Oh, he's been posted on this angle. Don't you look away again. Because the headshot's there for the taking. ZywOo also dead, dude. No trade. Axile just tears through what was that B site. Maybe Apex can deliver. He just looked away from Hobbit's head.
Bomb's gonna come
Right
towards
there.
him. There's
It's
a lineup.
You know, he's not able to snap it back, but dupreeh, that's an execution to the back of Axile. And there is potential as he jumps beyond the op of Shiro.
He avoids it.
He's got a smoke grenade to work with, no kit on him, but still, Shiro posted up. And now dupreeh walking in wounded. We've got tons of utility here for Gambit to still just lock in this post plant. And dupreeh desperate to fall some kind of wallbang damage. He's forced back yet again. And the further he walks away, the further the chances slip through his fingertips. Shiro toying with him as he jumps around, and this A1S too valuable to just throw away. Apex could have gone one better, but ultimately it's Axile getting both of those kills over towards the apartments.
That's what I'm talking about. It just feels like you want to take space back, but Gambit are very good at changing it up, and you never know how long they're going to be in a position. That's the other biggest thing. They basically make you regret every CT aggression that you pull off, even if you know mid is been taken over, or it feels like mid has been taken over. They make sure that you take your eyes off of a spot on the map, and then they hold the other one. And Vitality walk right into it. And Axile has pristine crosshair placement. I mean, there was really no chance for the first guy. The second one was just his duel to win as well. And with ZywOo playing like he is fallible. He does bleed. A god last year, but only a demigod at this event.
Showing signs of mortality. Magisk. A morbid experience on that ramp. A couple times he's been cut down early. Shiro waits, longing for the push into the palace, but it's now ZywOo on his own at the A site. Potential peak for the top mid here, but it's really got to be dupreeh through and through. Apex loses his angle, and as he falls down beyond underpass, Hobbit drops him by 90. Still, dupreeh sees nothing. And if he thought that Hobbit was going to give him another fight down underground, it's not there for the taking. If anything, dupreeh's now removed further from the eventual hit onto this A site.
So he's going to take some time to clear out B apps so there, you know, Masuda can rotate out. But by that time, the A site hit will already ensue. And look who's just chilling in mid anyways.
The Hobbit walking around as he pleases ZywOo, tucked underneath the palace. Missed deagle shots and a crisp entry from Gambit.
so good right now.
Minimal utility, good prediction on the positions, and Inters wastes no time to take over Staircase and gun down dupreeh. That solo A1S. Shiro on point, sharp as ever, finalizes the round for Gambit as they find an 8th on this T side and they shoot for double digits in the very first half.
Yeah, and we're talking about 5 rounds where they had 3 or more players alive when they won. That's how clean it's been for Gambit so far. Vitality just trying to put together the remaining balances that they have to make buys happen, to give themselves a chance on the ecos. But Gambit have scored the most amount of free rounds that they need. They could lose everybody right now and still buy in the next. Zaiwu, sharp angle here to the top of mid, and Shiro's looking for the connector pick. This could transpose into a run boost, though. I'm not sure they'll try it.
They hold for the peak and nothing yet punished.
Yeah, this is actually potential that Nafany gets up onto the bench.
Yep, again.
Wow.
3rd time.
They just don't believe it.
dupreeh's at least here good enough to support and trade, but then Axile finds him jumping. The utility usage screws him over. Magisk not able to claim back another kill.
And Inters is literally so careful, he doesn't even engage with this duel.
Hobbit walks out through the apartments. That's going to be Masuda dead, head on a spear. The sheer amount of timings
it's crazy.
and opening kills blindsiding the Vitality defense is ridiculous.
This is so classic. Like, this is when they're playing their best. It was true that on Vertigo, they got back to form. This is right now the best that we've seen Gambit play at the event. Nut stuff.
Which gets me excited because right before this match, we saw the best that Navi's been.
Right, yes.
And with so many uncertain storylines, with just, you know,
still
the
gonna be
from the different teams.
Still going to be a phase Vitality final, though.
Oh, okay.
So
you got the script early.
Yeah.
I haven't got that email yet.
Yeah. And we're going to have a little B-Stream update.
And what's going on over there? FaZe Clan 13-9 over Fnatic map 3?
Ooh, map 3, yeah.
Well, that's like you said, the script, you know, FaZe in the finals.
FaZe obviously are going to make it through this game. Didn't mean to spoil that one.
Keep yourself in check. As Vitality will have to as well. Saving inside of Palace, a desperate attempt at a 6th CT round win will be coming at you guys next up. Right now, Gambit, they seem cerebral.
Yeah, the
like
calling
somebody
is
gave them the crystal ball, and they just pieced together every play, every timing, and on top of that, individually, just so sharp.
It's nasty. I mean, you see Gambit, almost all of their kills, they're not flash tactics where people swing out. It's somebody walking into a position, either someone having no idea that they're there, or them just clearing something and finding a free headshot, and it looks absolutely tilting to play against. It's beautiful to watch.
Hobbit's going to jump across.
Oh, they spot 2 lower. This will make you scared.
Let's see what Hobbit can deliver us here. He's got reinforcements coming from the underground.
He doesn't even have to engage. This just gives you a speed up on the A site, and they can come out of Palace now knowing mid control's been taken over. All the CTs have their eyes forward in mid. Magisk will be the last defense and connector.
He turns attention fast enough. Nafany jumping down to the site will catch Magisk, or what was left of him. dupreeh, though, kills Hobbit. So it is just this all-in that was Inters from behind.
The double swing.
He falls to 12 HP as Shiro will find plant. Man advantage for a 10th terrorist round win. That's what Gambit are gunning for. dupreeh destined to death. The frag finds its target, and Masuda the final victim unless he can clutch in the 1v2. We saw good impact from that B site. And right now, he's got a smoke and a flash to work with. Nafany coming back from Ticket ends this. 10 rounds from Gambit's T side. They are omnipresent, and Vitality bleeding at the end of this first half.
It's good.
Don't see under, don't see under. One under, dead.
Nice.
It's a B player, B player. Yeah, hey.
The smoke connect jungle.
I'm only Palace.
I place this.
Palace, bro. Oh,
50 dead.
Chill, bro. Don't die.
One connect. Dead.
Sandwich one and ramp AVP. Just ID.
Okay. I'm in connector.
That's from baby, please.
Nice.
You're good, you're good.
Right at the right time, in the right way. They kept it clean and then minimized mistakes. Yes, we had that moment where dupreeh and Masuda get that pop off on the B site, but other than that, it has been Gambit from start to finish. And a quick one here from Vitality by the looks of things. Elimination on the line. Map 1 beyond the halfway point now. Axile, he loses his teammate on the back of the site as Magisk and dupreeh will open up. But Axile's still here. Maybe he buys time patiently. He awaits his teammate in Shiro, and look at that push. He jumps out from market, gets 2 headshots. dupreeh, I believe, was on the reload, but dupreeh is also in with the clutch. As he shuts down the first one, goes for the repeat. Shiro tucks close, and Hobbit trying to get into position. Those coveted dual Berettas of his. An eventuality through the marketplace. dupreeh with a chance to exit, but by looking over towards window, he's lost his chance. Hobbit crossed over to the bench.
And now they can solidify. The defense have made their moves. dupreeh misses the timing window. Lots of time to get back into this, but will he read that Hobbit have moved into this powerful position on his close left?
Such a difficult thing to predict. Shiro's moving within the bomb site. Hobbit's actually just right behind bench now. Oh!
Give him a chance.
A little one. The slightest of shivers sent down Vitality's spine as they thought maybe they could clutch this, but no sir. Gambit right back to the winning ways on the defensive half.
That's got to be because of Axel, right? I mean, he stayed alive at Get Right that whole time. Site almost got overrun, but these peaks are just so ridiculous from him. It was also impossible to punish, and because he existed in that position for so long, Shiro knew he could get comfortable, sneak out of the window, and join the fray. So his kill looks easy, just because half the site defense went well enough.
ZywOo doesn't even get a chance to survive. Didn't see a damn thing. The amount of times ZywOo just gets wrecked while scoped up.
Yeah.
Hasn't been able to offer us much at all. He's been
he just looks like another player right now.
Dude, not just, and he doesn't look like another player. He looks like the worst player. He's 2-13.
Wow.
Hands down, lowest performance in the server.
Not Zygote.
Axile gonna survive Magisk's push to the top of mid. dupreeh also now down for the count. So everything goes well towards middle for the CT side. Hobbit just hiding in his hole beneath the palace. Shiro's rotation upwards. Gambit are putting on a clinic.
Gambit, again, one of 2 teams coming out of 2021 to not make a roster move.
Yep.
And we look at Vitality, and you give them a little extra slack because they should get better as the year goes on. Gambit have to come in with high expectations and are allowed to be rusty. But within this same event, you could call into question them as an entire team, a team that knows how to play every map together as 5 with the same coach. There's not really an excuse for them, and I think right now you see them just re-reaching a level that we already know that they can play. Vitality ceiling is unknown.
Yeah, tapping back into the potential of 2021. Little push from bottom mid. Shiro and Nafany tearing him up. No success whatsoever here from Vitality. And while we do give time as the benefit to Vitality, I will say that, like you mentioned, right, we don't know their skill ceiling. This is a team that was put together not to be middle of the pack. This is a team that was put together to win events. And yeah, okay, time may be that crucial element.
Yeah, this is how good ZywOo was. Now we're looking at him 2-14, but in 2021 he had, you know, it used to be the story that Simple had the weakest team for their results. You know, he would always be so far ahead of his teammates. This year Simple had 2 teammates in the top 10. He's never had that before. ZywOo didn't. He was the #2 player of the year, had 0 teammates in top 20 at all, and they hired Magisk and dupreeh, who have both made multiple appearances in the top 20, to fill that gap. And now ZywOo goes on a siesta. Awkward.
Shockingly slow start to this series for him. But we can count him, you know, 3-4 rounds where he's just completely blindsided. Shiro looking for his chance. That was so sick. Nafany serves up a great distraction onto Apex. He turns his head, Shiro swings. Now ZywOo was there still coming in from middle. And that trade frag could open the catwalk, but remember, Bomb is still back at the top of middle, so dupreeh within the ladder room has to hold off for the time being. Magisk didn't see anything as he looked towards that B site. 50 seconds left. The one thing that we will give Vitality is the fact that they have already pulled off some crazy comebacks. Maps that they had no business winning. And when you can do that early on in this roster's lifetime, it's going to serve as a good reminder in moments like these.
Nafity kind of has dupreeh tied up a little bit. Lots of pressure on the B site, and they can pendulum swing into it now. dupreeh can cut off the rotations.
Yeah, Nafity's
or at least, share the correspondence that he's starting to come in. Beautifully executed. I don't think it would be right if Gambit, ended this game 16-5 or something like that, because Vitality actually played very well to get the rounds they did. But at the end of the first half, into the pistol, it just felt so pristine from Gambit at every single turn that I feel like they'd make any team look bad right now. Even when I think back on ZywOo and, him trying to refrag or whatever it was, it's not like he ever whiffed. At best it was him versus Hobbit's Deagle, and Hobbit got that, third headshot, or Axile swinging on him in B-apps. That's where I did just feel like he looks like not an above average player, but it was more that Gambit looks insane. The Axile and that clear,
for sure.
They are handing out free haircuts.
It looked like Gambit had been given Vitality's playbook at the start of this series. Not even at the start of this series, a week ago. They've been studying them down to the minutia. That's what it felt like. They could literally do no wrong. There wasn't a single decision on Gambit's T side where we could sit there and question it. So consistent in unraveling Vitality like a simple ball of yarn. But Vitality answer, all right? It's going to be critical that they get off with an early success story to this T side, and it's a fast one as well, dropping down to the base of Connector. Axile going to be drawn here by the gunfire of Apex.
Interesting decision here to be made by Shiro. He knows there's a lot of pressure towards window, but since that information has been exchanged, it's not an appealing time to get into window. But
Vent's closed.
He does want to make sure. Yeah, and they make sure not to use the vent, so there's no rotation going to be allowed here. But I think Shiro just wants to make sure no one's close left, and then he doesn't have to be worried about it anymore. But it looks like Vitality are quietly organizing for a B-site hit, and I'll be honest, I don't think there are enough signs here for Gambit to over-rotate in this direction. So they'll smoke top con. This will be a missed signal, and this will help you actually get up cat as well.
Yep.
Pressure now on Inters.
Ooh, Axile here on the catwalk. Inter's allowed to just focus forward. Oh!
What?
Axile 3-4! All headshots! He knows where Masuda's at. He gets canceled out by Masuda, but a 4-piece.
Oh my god. That's what I'm talking about, man. Axile's going crazy.
Bro, tucked in the corner of Cat like a bouncing Betty. They step next to him and he just pops right off.
And I think the next two are inside of halls. Oh, that's ridiculous with the spray. With a straight back, Axile hits that spray. Everything headshots. He's a clinician.
And he's the one that we look to. Highest rated player on Gambit so far here in the Katowice group stage.
Maybe we won't even get Axile.
Who needs overpass?
Yeah. Wow.
There it is.
What a spirited play across the board. 15 and 14 kills for 4 players on Gambit right now. ZywOo has been absolutely neutralized.
We were playing textbook CS, we were scrimming it out, testing things. We hadn't had a massive pop-off. That right there, folks.
That shines a light on the talent, too. That was not a bad timing for Vitality to B-split. It looked well organized. It was under the guise of the top con smoke at a weird timing. But their firepower.
And it doesn't stop. He'll clear Magisk off of middle before dying out to Masuda, but even Masuda's going to be limping around with 15 points of health. Bad Molotov. Hobbit tucked within Sandwich. Working off the back foot now with the double Galil. That's going to be the quick ticket punched to a win on Mirage if Axile has anything to say about it. His team just need to follow up off of the start of this one. Shiro will miss the op shot, but remember, Hobbit's still tucked on Sandwich, unbeknownst to the T side. Apex has managed to get underneath the balcony, and that's a clean trade from dupreeh to take Hobbit out of the pocket. No pressure being applied from the ticket booth. They could just wrap around and take default. Not that they know this. Shiro holding cross. This could be crucial, but no. dupreeh wants to be the difference. What goes around comes around. And dupreeh sent packing out of this one as Inters will attempt this clutch. Masuda plants, and it's a very rapid rotation. This timing could definitely screw over Vitality.
There's a world where he has a smoke to use.
Oh, Apex standing on the silver platter. I mean, he is going to deliver. Oh, no, excuse me.
No, he's inside Palace, but he can still get a kill and smoke defuse potentially, and Masuda is very low out of here.
Masuda leaves.
Oh, there's
Spotted
his
and
moment.
seen.
Doesn't know about Apex.
Still, the peek comes through. Apex cannot afford to die. Inters, just one left, 15 HP, bomb super far gone. He's got the kit, he's gonna stick it all the way. No, he gets off.
Wait, what?
It was very close. It was very close. Oh, the bomb blows up and that...
Could he have stuck that?
I don't think so. I think that was really close.
Down to the last half second?
Yeah.
I would say it was a misplay, but Apex, but he had the timing, I guess.
Little response from dupreeh showing that he's got what it takes as well. But not as clean as Vitality would have hoped, right? They're still set scrambling to just close out that round. This one's looking like a bit of a quicker pace here. Nafany's gonna be under pressure. Tech9 dealt with. ZywOo dead again. 3 kills, 17 deaths, an immediate slaughter of the masses. Vitality, they walked down into the base of mid and they never came home.
Just like that, man. I mean, that last round, we had dupreeh crossing the A site, taking out Shiro, who had an op on his angle, another rifler inside of connector, finally dying. The entire time he had a smoke. I mean, he's almost playing mad, right? And I think there was even, a more optimized way that they could have approached the situation. But there's more to this game than just good fundamentals at this point. I think it feels personal for Vitality, the way that they're losing these duels. And it's starting to get into their heads. And it's Gambit to call a timeout after winning a round like that. They would.
As if there's anything they need to perfect. Vitality under pressure. Of course, Gambit, they wanted to start the series here on Mirage, and now I can see why. That round over in an instant. I mean, players running with backs turned to the top of connector like that?
Yeah.
They thought they had way more cover than they did.
They can do no wrong.
Pickups made way too easy. So 5 Desert Eagles on the field for Vitality. I don't question the individual level of their players, but I do emphasize that of Gambit. And with Apex dead immediately, trying to jump down and play around smokes, Axile also just feeding. They are done. There is not a single point of damage dealt to Gambit. This is a masterclass performance on Mirage. And Gambit are cranking the dial in terms of individuals. Hell, in terms of team play. The preparation looks perfect. And the path seems clear. A run back in the lower bracket if they can take this next map. This one, no contest.